Back to Mike Wood Music. This is T. Michael Wood here, giving you an overview of some of my dad's musical highlights during his career. As you may know, in 2025, I am trying to get my dad's music that he built over his career out into the digital world. He released two albums during his lifetime in 1974 and 1980, Pilgrim's Road and Conversations, and a CD called Up on Jackson Street in 2000, as well as various other song singles along the way. You may be here because you heard of my dad through his 55 years playing at St. Mark Church every week, St. Mary's or St. Bernadette's for that matter, where he also played. You may have run into him at Old Bill Bailey's singing ragtime music, San Francisco Bay Blues, for example. You may have run into him at a wedding or a funeral where he sang a lot of weddings and funerals over his time, or at the Lancaster Festival or concerts around the Central Ohio area where he played with Dan Hart Kippen and Nick Weiland, kind of in a Peter, Paul, and Mary style, playing folk sing-along songs and singer-songwriter songs from the 1970s. He also did a lot of children's events. He sang at retirement homes. So he had a variety of songs he played, but I'm here to really focus on his music. Last podcast, I talked a lot about, I gave you highlights of Pilgrim's Road, which was his first album. This podcast, I want to focus on Conversations. Conversations was an album he put out in 1980. While the Pilgrim's Road album had very much a folk-based, very spiritual and inspirational, Conversations is also very spiritual and inspirational. You can hear it in a lot of the provocative lyrics that my dad put together. But you see, first of all, him leveraging the talents of Ann Hart Kippen, Phil Hart, and Nick Weiland, who all played on the album. To a greater extent, I think you see a little bit more of a musical variety in a lot of the songs he played. And I think also kind of based off of, I've mentioned this in some other podcasts, but you may not be familiar. He formed, he formed a community called Koinonia, where a number of families got together and they bought this house kind of out in the middle of nowhere, between Lancaster and Logan and kind of in the hills. And they bought, I don't know, I think it was 20 acres or something like that. Had a mountain, had a they built a log cabin on it. And we used to go out there probably once a month, and it was kind of like I don't want to say hippie commune, because it was more of but the families would get together and be around the campfire, and they'd have guitars playing, they'd play volleyball, and they had a natural water spring, and we go hunting into the woods and everything. So I think you sense some of that in here too. So in fact, this first song I'm going to feature, it's called Walk My Way. What kind of reminds me a lot of Koinonia, but it kind of has a little bit of that flavor. The lead vocal, by the way, on this is Ann Hart Kippen.
When your night closes in and nobody cares or sees, walk my way, and your words pass people like the wind blows through the trees. Walk my way, walk my way, and I will take you up in space and time where sunshine never ends. You can find it for yourself, you know, in the circle of your friends.
So again, you can see a little bit more of an expansion of his music, and again, the harmony's just amazing. Nick Ann and my dad kind of working together. Also, you notice in the Conversations album, if you listen to the whole album, um, the lead vocals are almost split equally among Nick and my dad, and then of course the harmonies would kind of kick in. Next song I'm going to feature is called "Man I Call Brother." It's actually Nick Weiland on lead vocal for this. My dad wrote the song, but yeah, Nick just does an amazing job with the vocals here.
He is the man I call brother. He is the man I call friend. He is the man with the outstretched hand. He's there time and time and again. He's there time and time and again.
So again, amazing. I just love the sparse guitar on that with a little bit of the background. Next song I'm going to feature is called "Gentle Ways." Now I'm not going to play the whole song for you, but again, this is an example where you have Nick lead vocal on one verse, you have my dad lead vocal on another verse, and you have Ann lead vocal on a third verse, and they would come together for the chorus, and just an amazing harmony. So I think this thing could have been a country #1 song, frankly.
It's so hard for us to say that we accept your gentle ways, to open up and live the gifts you long to give. In faith we'll touch this human race, in hope all good things find their place, and in love we pray to accept your gentle ways.
So I'm going to almost move ahead to the chorus. I'm sorry, this is the guitar break, but this is why I thought the thing could have been a country #1 song. So
we agree, faith is believed and our minds are free today.
here we go with the chorus.
It's so hard for us to say that we accept your gentle ways, to open up and live the gifts you long to give. In faith we'll touch this human race, in hope all good things find their place, and in love we pray to accept your gentle ways.
There we go. And then the last song I want to feature from the Conversations album, I'll put up there is probably the best song my dad did. He played this actually at a lot of funerals. Ann Hart Kippen, Nick Weiland, and his good friend Jim Shaw, who played piano, were gracious enough to play this at my dad's funeral. It's called "We Found Our Home."
See how the birds of the air are cared for. See how the children gather round. See how the harvest yields its workers. See how the lost are found. And we can lay our burdens down. We found our home, our home. We can lay our burdens down. We found our home.
So it gives you a little bit of a flavor for the Conversations album that my dad did back in 1980. Again, if you enjoy these songs, I'm making them all available. I make lyric videos of many of the songs I released here in 2025, and I put them out on the Mike Wood Music YouTube channel, which again, price is right, it's free. And I'm also I release these songs on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube Music. You can also download them if you like on iTunes or Amazon. So keep listening. I'm going to focus in on Up on Jackson Street with my next podcast. Thanks.